Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Ye Clubhouse is now in session.
This will make us a great town crier.
I was going to say, the damn town crier, right off the rip.
We're here to announce the birth of a royal.
Right. You all here ought to sit in the back and enjoy yourselves.
Public decree.
Where's the rock at so I can throw rocks at the town crier? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Shocking Greg, behave yourself, or ye will get the guillotine.
Everybody put two in the chat to do a virtual stoning of the
right. Shocking Greg,
we're getting stoned. Crier.
Shocking Greg will get the circumcision.
Wrong stream, buddy. Wrong stream.
What was that, Izzo?
That's a guillotine.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at them. They're throwing rocks at you, Izzo.
Oh, Plasma's really got an issue with you.
And I was going to give everybody ice cream. Plasma, you were going to get the first one to get some ice cream tonight.
Oh, look at this. Covaine's already got our official titles up and everything.
Nice. Covain rocks, man. That's why. See, that's respect.
Exactly.
For those watching before the show, Shane made that wonderful thumbnail, which I have to say, I have pretty stellar legs in that picture, by the way. If I was into myself, I'd definitely be into myself. But anyways,
you'll be rubbing that leg all night long, wouldn't you?
What do you think I'm doing right now?
Jesus, Lordy!
What? 3 minutes in.
Joe might have to put his camera off just to stop. Anyways, so before the show, you made that great. We have to talk about that picture.
Yeah, we will.
And I was like, did anybody actually register the clubhouse? So Shane did it with like 2 hours to spare. He did it, and it is officially. We have put in the request. Shane, what is it for? Lord
Ham Radio Clubhouse of Sealand.
So it's not an individual. It's us.
It's all of us.
It's our viewers. It's us.
It's everybody. It's a kingdom. We now have a kingdom.
Well, I think did we pay for a spot?
I'm not paying $40 for something the size of a stamp.
Well, all we wanted to do is put a sticker on there, but okay.
Well, I'm going to send him a sticker. Trust me.
Did you see what Scout just said? Oh, shit. For those listening on the podcast, you got to see this. You got to come over here.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
Molson has just happened to be able to wear his tights in public again. And I'll bet you they're color black. I'll tell you that right now.
If you're smart.
Don't show no runs.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, goodness. But that's fun. They're actually going to send us an official title, paid certificate, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. When I get it, I'll
paper or electronic.
No, it's paper. I had to pay shipping for that. It's coming all the way from Sealand.
We're gonna hang that in the clubhouse.
Yeah. For those of us that was not here last week, what the freak is going on?
All right, so Daniel, since you're
buying countries and stuff.
It's all Daniel's fault, but it's a good fault. It's a good one.
So Daniel, you came up with this idea. So would you like to explain to our brother Joe Brett here as to what he's now become?
So quick recap. World War II, UK put up these out in the ocean. They put up these, military posts. They kind of look like mini oil rigs. And they were abandoned after the war, and some pirate radio guy who got tired of being fined by the UK government went out and declared one a sovereign nation. And so there's all kinds of drama that happened with the UK military, with Germans, anyways. And so today, it is still not recognized, but it is a sovereign nation unto itself, and you could become a lord for $29.99. And I learned it's pounds. And so we decided, after talking about the best and most amazing, badass pirate radio guy in the world, we would become lords, and that was it. And so we registered Lord Ham Radio Club. We have all kinds of we have all kinds of ambitions. We're talking about doing like a 7 for POTA park between the bathroom and the galley, and we're just gonna POTA everything. Plus, it's a summit. Plus, it's an IOTA, and we're just gonna rack up the points. We're gonna
Look, Joe. Instead of a tire
That's
swing,
Sealand.
it has a swing of its own for
Yes.
the water.
Yeah, so
Yes.
the piranhas can jump up and nip at your toes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the entrance. What are you talking about? So, anyway, so that's the story. And no, but seriously, we have serious plans here. We are going to put a Flux Radio remote station once they sponsor us.
Yep.
What else are we going to do? Everything.
Kyle's going to do the nodes for us.
Maybe we'll put a ham radio.
Oh
billboard
yes,
on
we have to
there.
have.
node red or something, or red.
Yeah, we'll have
Guys.
to have something node red.
Right.
Why don't
Joe-
we put a ham radio billboard on Sealand for any mariners going by,
That's
saying,
right.
"Please tune in to 14275."
Please copy. Please copy.
Yeah.
Joe, tonight. Hey, Joe, tonight when you lay down to Mrs. Joe Bright, you know what you could tell her? Tonight you're
Whoa,
sleeping.
this is-
Tonight you're sleeping with the king, and
He's
now she's
sleeping
gonna,
with royalty.
and she's going to say, "Well, I do that every night." But you say, "No, this is." You know what I'm saying? You just kicked it up a notch.
He's like, keep my bedroom out of your
See
mouth,
what happens
son."
when you're away, Joe.
Yeah.
See what we do.
Joe, we hit the 10 cup last week.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it that way.
Without the tin cup.
Yeah.
Without the 10 cup.
Something needs to take place of that episode.
Oh,
Did you seriously not watch last week's episode or listen to it?
No.
Oh gosh.
Well, at least you're honest.
Dude,
I
I
think
had
it was
the boys at work rolling.
I mean, that's 2 hours, and he
I
has a short
watched
commute.
it. I was listening to it like I don't open the podcast. I just watch it on YouTube while I'm driving. Or
I don't
to
listen
it.
to the show while the show's going on, like right now.
Yeah, well, listen.
Yeah, right. You're working
I
at
put a
FTA.
message in the Discord to these guys. I'm like, that was like an hour and a half of us laughing like hyenas and 30 minutes of us talking. Like that's
That's every week.
That's true.
Well, I've seen some of the Discord stuff, but I wanted to wait to get filled in, on the show so that maybe others in the chat could get filled in too that wouldn't.
Well, hopefully, all 46 of the folks that are in here now are with us every week, and actually was here for the episode.
We're gonna have ID
And that's why we only have
cards
46.
made. Dude,
Right?
Dude, we're gonna have ID cards made. Who knows? I'm gonna buy. I know on the website you could buy a T-shirt. I'm gonna buy a T-shirt. I might get a coffee mug. I may get linens, for my bed. Man, we have that whole crescent.
Shane, you got to show. Let's pull up that thumbnail for a minute.
I was actually at work in the middle of an interview and just had to stop, and I was laughing when I looked at the message on my watch of that certificate thing. I was like, these fools really.
What in the hell are they doing?
My friends just bought a country. Let's continue.
We were listening at work, and like the phones are ringing. We're like, somebody should get the phone.
And it was funded. Actually, it was funded by several super chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our I don't know what the proper word would be, but our
Well, but-
community here, our
Yes.
Citizens.
citizens
Our ham fam.
help us purchase the extra.
Absolutely. This is not just the six of us sitting on.
I'm gonna go grab
thrones.
the.
This is
thumbnail. You grab that.
everybody. This is one big, huge. What was that thing with the round table? Knights of the Round Table, but we're gonna be kings of the round table.
No,
Here,
I
all
like
of our
knights.
friends here.
I like knights.
You like knights? Okay, then we could all.
Well,
be-
we could have
it doesn't-
gotten knights instead of the lords. But
No, but Lords is good, and then we got to start another cult that's Knights of something. The Knights of the ARL. Yes. Yes.
On radio
there are no
relay.
peasants. There are no peasants.
yeah, exactly.
Jody, thank you for the super chat.
Jody.
So let's read this for those in the podcast. Jody says, "Let's start the fund to buy something stupid this week, or this week. You have to
week.
come up
Wait,
with
wait.
something stupid this week.
So Joe and I are going to Huntsville. We can buy something stupid.
You can buy a lot of stupid shit. Nothing against
True.
the Huntsville Hamfest. You guys have a great Hamfest.
No, it's called
No,
treasures.
no.
It's what it is.
I said Huntsville. I said nothing about the Hamfest.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, that is the Rocket City.
Ed,
We're gonna buy a rocket.
Hey,
Ed
hey,
says we are the knights who
Don't-
say squirrel.
Joe, don't say that twice because we can and we will.
Molson's already thinking, how can we buy a NASA rocket?
They just gave what's his name some reusables, like they were 5-cent returnables. To what's his name there, Musk, whatever that dude, Musk guy,
Elon.
He doesn't have a real good track record with reusables.
Oh well,
I
the
mean,
FCC also denied his petition for some money. Him and a few other people. But oh well, guess what? He has enough money to make up for it.
I was about to say, man makes millions of dollars a day. I think he's not. I don't think he's gonna go down to eating ramen.
No.
how do you think
Although there's nothing wrong with eating ramen. There's nothing wrong with eating ramen.
No, there's nothing wrong. I don't want to offend anybody here.
You know, a lot of us live on it sometimes.
All right,
All right.
Shane, pull up that picture.
All right, so here we
We
go.
got to go through this. All right. So, are you able to zoom in? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I should be able to.
All right. Let's start
Start
out
from
the
the right.
left.
No,
Oh,
start from the
sorry.
right. Start from the
Okay, start from the
right.
right.
Start from the right.
So we're gonna start from the right.
So I gotta say, look at those legs. Like I don't know. There's something about those legs, like you know.
Heels.
But
I was about to say, and those tiny feet.
my face is pretty
God.
damn ugly. In that picture. So. Okay, let's go to Steve because Steve, we got to talk about Steve. Steve looks like
Steve has got some boots coming all the way up past the knees.
That
my
motorcycle.
first
That's
impression.
for crossing the stream.
No, my first impression is Steve's
That's
wearing
for
a
how
now you're wearing a dominatrix outfit, all leather. You got a whip in your right hand, and you're covering it up by some. It's like your mom walked in the bedroom and you pulled the blanket over you. That's what that looks like.
But that shit's
I
gonna
got
outthink
Claude
the shit gets in
busted.
here.
No, seriously, y'all. I told Steve he should take that, frame it, put it in his living room, in his dining. He looks like a king. That looks. Say what you want about the dominatrix stuff, but he looks like a king.
Hey, what I do behind closed doors is my business now.
Dean says that's a female body on a Molson. And listen, I said the same thing. I said, listen, we're gonna come to another picture where I'm convinced that like. Anyways,
Don't make me drop my.
they are all men. Shane showed us they
Yes.
were all men.
They're all
They're
men.
all men. They're all men.
And here,
Very dead-
Shane
very
forgot
dead
to put,
men.
forgot to put sunscreen on his forehead. A lot of
Yeah.
sun in Sealand.
I'd have to say that Shane like it looks like a guy chilling. That's it. With weird forehead.
with a big weird forehead and a big sword.
Waiting for his craft beer to get done.
Hey,
Now-
there you go.
There
Now
you
beer
go.
snack we got to talk about here. So
Got
I
a
want
dollar
every
bill,
One,
y'all?
because he's not here.
I want everybody. There's two things here. I want everybody to cut off the right, like just look at it with the leg and the left arm. So cut off the overcoat on the right and his face not, and don't tell me that's not a woman's body. I'm telling you. And then you put the gloves, and then he's got a trident that looks like Ariel's dad's trident in his right hand. I'm a little confused here. Ariel from Little Mermaid. Anyways, he's got a nice.
What have
smile
you
on
been
his
watching?
face.
Right.
Listen, I got 4 kids, man. What do you want me to tell you?
Dean says
I can
Shane
sing Dora
Skull
the
is a product of
Explorer.
royalty inbreeding. Oh, that's a new one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean.
And then Joe Brett just looks stellar. Look at that.
As
Look,
always.
his,
As always.
his
Exactly.
orange in his face and his beard match his outfit.
I mean, his head's a little
Wait a
small
minute.
for the body, but
Why is my outfit made out of that oil dry stuff that those mats you put down, soak up the oil?
no, the oil.
Oh, we went out to the parking lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Izzo.
Izzo. Royal blue.
Look at all that hair.
Look at those legs.
That's nice. That's
He's the only one in this picture that has legs.
That's
But he still has
1980s with
dainty feet.
that's 1980s with the Aquanet. So there you go.
I can tell you one thing. None of these folks was doing sodas.
No, they weren't.
No.
How come the only guy that looks like he's wearing like men's shoes is Joe Brett? Like go
Because
look at
it's
Izzo's
Joe
feet.
Brett.
Look at Izzo's feet. Like
He's
what
got-
is that?
That's like flowers or something.
No, that looks like the Christmas bow that you put on top of the present on his feet. And then there you got Joe Brett with those nice slip-ons, like look good. And then look, beer snack literally looks like Cinderella's slipper there. That's for sure. I don't know what kind of nonsense you're wearing. You listen, I'm telling you, look at the leather high boots that Steve's wearing. That's like dominatrix king right there.
That's the king, man. He's the king. He's the king.
And then what the frig am I wearing?
Dude, you got high heels. Is that a
Dude, what
heel
is
on
that?
you? That's a heel.
That's disgraceful.
That's a heel.
Look
And
how
look at-
small his feet are. It looks like my feet are like jammed into those things. Shane,
Well,
what
they
are you
are.
doing?
I mean, the artist, these were all paintings, so the artist may not have been good at painting feet.
Talking about it, Shane.
Yes.
Did you research
If I was envious of
where
men's
these
bodies, I'd be
people-
envious of Joe Brett. That's
what
it.
country was these people from?
Yeah,
I
what
didn't go
era?
that deep into it.
I would say, what
Well, see, that's
era
a
are we talking
problem
about?
because now they may be making plans to attack Sealand.
I think these people have been dead for quite some time.
They still have people.
They're rolling in their graves right now, is what they're doing. These were probably very affluent people, a lot of money, a lot of power, and we're just kicking them around because of their
Our
feet.
first conflict already started.
Mike says they were all wearing therapeutic socks because of them shoes.
Oh, there you go, Mike. Bet you they sat on 80 meters talking about that shit too. Say, I gotta wear my diabetic socks.
Diabetic socks.
The diabetic socks.
I beat
Yeah.
his
Do,
socks.
do they like auto inject insulin when you're wearing them? Like,
I'm gonna see if I can pull these originals up. They're
Jeff
hiding.
nailed it.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff might be
Those
right.
are bowling shoes with knee-high socks. That Shane wears.
All right, give me 1 second. Continue while I set up the next slide.
anyways, we went right into that just to recap from last week. But Izzo, how was your week, buddy?
Wow, man, I had a crazy after we left the show on Tuesday, all pumped up and laughing. It was a crazy work week. So we got much lighter this week. Tomorrow we take our first college tour. So Matthew and I take Maggie out to one of the universities here in the state. We're gonna see what it's like to be a freshman, and she wants to go there. She's gonna officially apply. I know that, but we're gonna do the tour. And I'm gonna, of course, as a father, she's gonna. Her mindset is different than my mindset.
Well, of course it is.
Mhm.
She's looking for education, having a good time. I'm looking at where the kegs are being stored and who's who's got the red Solo cups and keeping these kids out of trouble. But no, we're doing good though.
Out of
And,
trouble or in trouble?
out of trouble. I don't want to hear that.
Wait, I just noticed something. These are some of the pictures that I was going to use.
Mhm.
I think Joe Brett is royalty.
Oh, that's right.
Tell me that doesn't look like Joe Brett.
You didn't even have to Photoshop that.
That is,
Right?
guys. That's not
I
Photoshop.
could have just let it be.
Let it be.
No, Photoshop a beard and you have it.
Yeah.
No, he looks like a Cesar or something, right? Is that how you say that? A Cesar?
That is Edward the 23rd or 13th.
Look at
King Edward the
All
13th.
those decorations. That's my
Yeah.
guy.
Medals, man. Those are some
Until we
serious
Google
medals.
what he did. We
Yeah.
may not want to say that.
Probably chopped the heads off of everybody.
Right.
Man, that was a thing back then. You can't hold it against him.
There are
right.
some people
Well,
you should not Google.
Well, guess
Yes,
what?
absolutely.
That's what everyone did. That's what everyone did. Don't
What,
cross
Google?
the line.
Oh,
No, the Google. Don't go into the Google back then.
Uh,
Hey guys, I gotta tell you something real quickly. I gotta show everybody my cigar tonight. I'm very, very keen. I don't know if you guys can see this. So this is the PDM, the Pearl de Mar, which translates the Pearl to Sea. This is an incredible. This is the Corojo, and this is from the. It started off in Cuba, and now they're doing a whole bunch of things with this. But I really love this. If you guys are into cigar smoking, they have the Connecticut wrapper, which is a little bit lighter. But if you want something a little bit heavier like me, check it out. Great price. Go to your local store. Go check it out. This is from J.C. Newman, and I think you will like this smoke. I love it. I bought a whole bunch, and I'm going to buy a box soon. So
oh, there you go.
that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Okay.
Shane, what about you, buddy?
I've been off of work for the last 12 days. Today was my official first day back. Went to Indianapolis for a few days and enjoyed the 70-degree weather up there. And then the minute we landed in Texas, I was like, what a letdown. Yeah. That's it.
Welcome to the furnace of hell.
Right? You walk down the jetway and it's like blasting you in the face like with a blow dryer.
Shane, I don't want to tell you what happened to me last night, but I will. I'm sitting on the back porch real quickly, guys, and all of a sudden it got down to about 68 degrees. I had to put on a hoodie, and I had to bring out the Mr. Buddy heater just to stay warm.
Jeez.
Hang
you
on,
guys
I'll
have
fix that.
you have a storm coming.
Oh, did I just lose my man
Did you lose your
Lord
internet?
card? Did I just lose my Sealand ID? All right.
All right, so here we go. We'll start with Mr. Steve here. And I guess technically this should have been Beer Snack's photo because of the beard, and I wouldn't have to have done so much Photoshop work. But I really literally had about an hour to do this after I got off of work today. And then we'll move to Joe Brett. That's kind of what I said.
Now see, Joe Brett's Photoshop looks better.
Yeah, I think the Photoshop did it justice. And then we've got Izzo. It actually kind of looks like Izzo
You think so?
Yeah.
from way back when.
Way back when.
I was to say back with that Mississippi mud flap. Yeah, maybe.
Oh my, well, you know something. My hair was kind of. Look at the colics. I had colics too back then too. But I definitely did not have those slippers with the fuzzy things on the top there, whatever it was. The, the danglies.
See the hair is though. That's the predecessor to the mullet.
To the mullet.
That is, man. Not for nothing. Oh, you think they had the Aquanet back then?
There's me. A rather upset looking. You know, I think the
eyes,
forehead
man.
does kind of match because it looks like he might have had the dysentery for a few days before they painted this picture.
He had the COVID.
He had the COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Before it was a thing.
So should we do Beer Snack first, or should we do
Beer
Daniel?
Two
Okay.
beer snack.
All right. So there's Beer Snack.
I'm telling you, I told you guys behind the scenes what that looks like. That looks like his mom always wanted a girl and dressed him till this picture was taken. I'm telling you, that's what that looks like.
That's so mean, but it's so true.
It's so true. Look at that outfit. Look at the gloves. Look at the way his leg is forward. What guy stands pose for a picture with his leg forward like that? I'm telling you.
That's very true.
That's a kid who has his underwear. He pulled his underwear up fast, and now it's all tight and bunging up in the northern regions. I'm telling you, that's what happens. That's the face you make. Then you got to go back into the room and pull everything down and get comfortable.
Well, if I had to
get
wear
it
that
over
many
with.
layers, regardless, that would be awful.
Listen,
right.
get it over. Show them my picture. The ugliest face with the hottest legs. Look at that.
I
Look
do
at
want
that.
to say that the face kind of matches.
Oh fuck! I mean,
Wait! Drop it down!
Sorry.
Drop it down, man! He's
Something
showing
mute
some.
that.
Look at him! He's showing some cheek. He's showing cheek.
what is that around the ankle? Look, no, pull it on the knees. Is that one of those like what the bridesmaids wear and they like what
It's-
are those,
Garter belt.
girdles?
Well, that's something that's holding up his
Oh.
socks.
Oh,
Goodness gracious.
say, what do you
Well,
say?
look at that bedazzled sword you got going on there.
I'm looking at
Antenna.
that.
Will it antenna?
Will it antenna? Yeah.
Antenna.
Next week
What
on the
the-
clubhouse.
What is with those stupid slippers, man?
Oh my God, man, Molson, you got some heel going on. That's got to at least be 2 inches. Your ankle's got to kill you at the end of the night.
I'm getting depressed. Let's move on. Okay? I'm
That's what all the
embarrassed by my
women
picture.
say. That's what all the
Yeah.
women say. At the end of the night, man,
Unbelievable.
their heels are killing them.
Yeah, there better be a black shirt underneath that. I saw that.
Right, exactly.
There better be.
I was getting ready to tag that comment, but
Yeah.
Well, that's
Checking
King Louis the 14th.
Ben merci.
Yeah,
Comme
King
ça
Louis
va.
the 14th of France.
My
There you
name is
go.
King Louis. Yeah.
See, Molson, there's some royalty in your blood.
You want
And
that
I wear
baguette?
tiny shoes.
They say about guys with tiny shoes, eh?
They
That's
got
why-
got a tiny.
They wear
That's why-
therapeutic socks.
No, and that's why they carry
Nobody
a
knows
a
because
very
he killed
long
everyone who
sword,
said
though.
something.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's why they carry the long sword to make up for it.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're probably right.
Molson, are you wearing the heels to Huntsville? I ain't going to Huntsville.
I thought you were going to Huntsville. I
I
thought
can't.
you were riding shotgun with Kyle.
if it all worked out, but it's not.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
He totally suckered Kyle into making plans to go, and then he backed out. And Kyle's
Listen.
still going. But
Listen, it's his fault that he was so easily manipulated. I'm like, listen, but that was just the trial run. Next, I'm going to make him give me his flex.
There you go. Or at least the login where you can use
I was
the
going to
remote.
say, just need to log into it. I don't
Yeah.
need the flex.
Lord Steve, how was your week?
My week has been interesting. I'm on the job hunt, unfortunately. Haven't lost it yet, but I see the writing on the wall. So I'm looking before things go south. Hopefully it doesn't affect this, but we'll see.
For your resume, just use that picture, include it in your resume, and take all of our pictures for references.
ooh,
We'll give
and
you a
your
great reference.
certificate to Sealand. That'd be
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you can
tell
tell
them.
them that you
Yeah,
have
tell
royalty
them.
in Sealand.
Also, as you fill out your applications, a lot of them, what days are you available? Mark out Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
Right.
available on Tuesdays.
And
Yeah,
tell them, listen, I own so much. I don't have to have this job because look at what I have. But I want to be here.
But I
except for
want
on
to be here.
except for on Tuesday nights. But I want to be.
Listen, should we take down all of our previous episodes because if they find it, you might not.
They got to find it first.
yeah.
Don't put anything about Ham Radio Clubhouse on your resume.
Right. But no. So Sunday I did a thing. Let me see if
Oh,
I can
Plasma's got it. Look at this.
share this out here.
Plasma says you would have diplomatic immunity if they
immunity?
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But
Oh,
Oh, look
So,
at that! Talking
that's
about a kingdom.
something
right
has
there.
grown in the backyard.
Look at that!
Yeah.
And I don't mean the solar panels.
Look at that.
the
array.
tower is vertical.
Yay! Look at
I
that!
should-
Good
Nice
job.
Well, I have to bring it back down, put the mast on it, put the antenna on it, but I was told it had to be up before I left for Huntsville because the dogs needed room to play in the backyard.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think we gotta
Priorities.
Okay.
I think we got to talk about your crappy sawhorse that you use there.
Oh man!
Are you
The
talking about
weed-
the one that dropped the VW bus or the Volkswagen? Don't
Bill
want to use
doesn't-
that one.
He doesn't have
See?
good experience with sawhorses.
See, we build
Truth.
and we learn is going to critique you. now.
Lord Daniel's going to come out with a
Lord
video
Daniel.
on how not to antenna a tower.
So Ham Radio Adventure Guy got it, but he said if Steve loses his job, he'll just raise his prices on only hams. So
That's
get it
true.
while you can.
There you go. Subscribe now, 20% off.
I'll just set up a Patreon and go that route.
There you go. You just become YouTube full time.
There you go.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, I wish. But no. I gotta freaking do my videos. I've got them all sitting there. I just need to finish the edits, and it's probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow night while I'm sitting at Huntsville alone.
Four Wheeling Redneck says tower seeds finally sprouted.
Yes,
You plant that tower, if you build it, the RF will come.
I hope so.
Steve
Or the
would
DX will
become
come.
Steve would become an instant hit on TikTok if his TikTok channel was him going in public, recording somebody falling, making a mistake, something stupid, and then he just turns the camera on himself and goes, "Right, and that's it. That's
You're
it.
right.
And he's done."
Or just create a shirt that says "Seriously."
Yeah.
It'd be like the guy that does the 5G. You can tell it's 5G because of the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
Don't
Lord
think so.
Joe Brett?
I'm here.
Oh,
More
you were
than-
absent last week, so glad to have you.
I'm here. That's more than I was last week. Just making my list for Huntsville and getting ready to go there.
That's when do y'all leave for that? That on Friday?
I
Thursday?
will leave as soon as the youngest gets on the school bus. I'm probably going to pass the school bus.
Lights going or not?
I know.
So
I was looking for something. Bear with me.
Yep.
How'd we lose Izzo? Where'd he go?
He's
Oh,
high.
You're
he's
not.
still trying to talk like we can hear him.
We can't hear you.
What's going on?
We can't hear you when you're not in
I'm
the street.
here. I'm fixing something.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
you have to let us know so we don't. bring you up while you're.
Oh God, I wish I could see the green room.
Well, sometimes you gotta fix the sword under the robe, and it just gets in the. Hang on.
Welcome to the show, Kyle.
This is your first time joining us. I'm sorry.
While Lord Izzo adjusts himself.
See, Plasma knew already.
Exactly, Plasma. We can always count on Plasma. He gets all of our jokes and he laughs at most of them. So we have a couple of things that we're going to talk about tonight, right?
What's that?
Well, I lost my Discord. Stand by one. So we've got, let me scroll up. Joe Brett.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've got two things. We're going to talk about what's going on at Huntsville. You and Steve are going.
Yep.
So are y'all doing any forums, the dates, times, meetups, any stuff like that?
Oh shit! Thanks for reminding me. I got to grab my polo that I just got.
Oh,
Sunday we have the YouTubers forum that's running 2 hours,
10 to 12.
10 to 12, and then immediately following that there is a POTA forum that I'm going to help out with.
Oh, cool.
So
Did you get an official POTA polo?
I did.
Are you going to be at the POTA table?
Shit, they got a table this year?
Yeah, you got a table.
Oops.
Are you going to put Lord Steve on your name badge?
I dare you.
Lord Steve of he's going to 3D print it.
No, I have a programmable one.
It will say Lord Steve of the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Yeah, but I got to charge it.
Is that one of those that scrolls?
Yes.
Okay. I see those a lot, but I've never had I've never found them for sale.
It was like $5 on Amazon,
Oh, nice.
and it's Bluetooth.
Even
You
better.
got a $30 one from the Ham Fest somewhere?
I'm just trying to think what Steve was thinking when he bought it. Not like, oh, that's a good thing. Or was he like, hey, I want to be ready for when somebody says, tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd. And then he's like got like the light up digital screen on his chest. Like, seriously, come on, Steve.
You know, the good.
No, it's going to say seriously with a question mark is what it's going to
Yes.
say as it scrolls by.
You're like, need I save more?
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. This says it all right here.
Ben says they're $15 at the Hamfest.
bad.
Inflation.
Yeah.
No, that's capitalism, son.
Oh, sorry.
I was
Supporting local, man. You got to support local.
Exactly.
Since I
So-
probably killed our monetization, I just dropped the buy me a beer link.
Yeah, I killed it
So,
when I
those are the two
reacted.
now. Are they doing something at Montesano that is got a public event
Yes.
like they did last time?
Friday from 8 till whenever. We have the Trailhead Pavilion, the same one we were at last year. So 8 a.m. till they kick us out.
They're doing POTA too, right? I think they're gonna.
Yep.
Jason said they were gonna set up a radio and actually work the bands.
We're going to set up the Buddy Hacks at that one. And then Saturday, they rented the Yak Pavilion, which is right there at the campground sign-in spot.
Okay.
So bigger parking lot, and we'll be there at some point Saturday. I'm not sure when.
Nice. No, no Gigaparts booth this year, or no? Are we going to the Gigaparts booth like we did last year?
I was at a concert Sunday night, so I missed,
You missed the
Jason's
meeting.
stream. Yeah,
I'll find out, and I'll
screwed
post
up
it in. I'll post it in the community tab on the Clubhouse. We'll put all the ins and outs.
I
Yeah, I
bought
don't
my
think
wife
they've,
tickets to Michael Bublé for Sunday night, and we were at that. So
Nice.
Oh, Michael Bublé.
yes,
You were
Yeah,
drinking the bubbly.
yeah,
bubbly water.
absolutely.
He's Canadian. Just
Yep,
you're
he is.
welcome. You're welcome.
And he's a
Thanks,
very
buddy.
good entertainer.
Absolutely.
Some say so am I, but
I have yet to see the videos.
Have you seen those shoes?
Yeah, we haven't seen you in Vegas.
Those are,
Mexico.
I only
Right.
do high paying customers.
I think that's private. Oh, private.
One day
affairs.
only. Or
Yeah.
one night only.
Yeah, short stays.
Yeah, because they pay him to put it back on. But
Exactly.
Okay,
No,
you know what's
sir, please.
funny though about ham? I just noticed this, right? A lot every time before a convention there's like the huge planning, like, and I'm okay with it, but like it's almost like we treat it like it's the JW convention, right? Like we're all going there, but we're not. So you'll have like 300 people watching a show or 70 people watching a show. Of that, like 4, maybe 5 are going, but we have these huge shows and planning groups and like we're gonna do this and then we're gonna do that and I'm gonna rent here, and like 99% of people don't give 2 shits about what we're doing. They ain't going, they just want to see what the results are.
But we're being informative.
Yeah, we're
I
being
think 99%
inclusive.
of us are going. It's just y'all ain't.
Oh, see,
There's some spite in that comment.
working in numbers.
You had your Lord privilege showing there, okay, Joe Brad. So, like,
Sorry, sir.
The royal tude.
Shane, a little spicy, like somebody missing their spinach dip last year.
Yes. We need to
Yeah, we're
we're going to assure that we avoid that circumstance or situation.
Yeah, so my plans actually, what I'm thinking is, well, we'll probably meet up and do some supper or something as a group or something. But breakfast and lunch is probably going to be at the cabin.
There you go.
And wrong with that. It's beautiful up there.
Buy me a grill. Buy a
Do you not
couple
have one on the
steaks.
back patio?
No, the one I was at last year, the grill grate was built into the
Fire pit.
The fire pit. And I know what I've done in the past when alcohol and fire pits are involved, and I'm not putting food to be cooked on.
Yeah, could have.
Fire
some
But
of
if you
that.
heat it up to where it's glowing red, there's not going to be anything left on it.
like
I
that,
don't care.
like that lemonade, like you
Just
talking
put
about
some
lemonade,
foil on it. That's what everybody else does.
right? He's talking about lemonade.
Uh,
The lemonade that you only drink in the desert only because you have to.
if you're going to
Survive.
grill
Yellow snow.
charcoal grill with foil, you might as well got you a gas grill. Well,
I
why?
mean, if you poke holes in the foil, some of the smoke
No.
gets out.
Mm-mm.
Then you should just got you a pizza pan.
I've been shunned for my creativity. Thanks.
well, Jody says this burger is really salty. You know, I think maybe it'd be interesting to know and do a study. Maybe depending on where you are in the country, you might get a side of corn with your hamburger or a little extra salt on your burger. You know.
Mm.
Yep. Sorry,
Get it?
Steve.
Getting it
Yeah.
one way or another.
Dinner's coming back around.
Derek says, is that known as the Bear Grylls Grill? I believe so.
Very well. could
Shaq
be.
and Greg says, I made breakfast steaks on the fire pit last year. They were uncooked as well. You should have left them on there longer, Greg.
Really? What's the?
That's
it's
your
very-
own fault. When you did,
Thanks,
did you
Greg.
grow?
I'll
Did
keep
you
on
grow
with
an extra? Did you grow an extra arm?
Yeah.
Was there anything on that thing that killed you?
Simple
Shane.
solution.
What you're missing there is he said he cooked them on the fire pit. He never said he started a fire.
Ah,
Dumbass.
funny how that.
Dumbass.
He said he was up for 24.
Oh
He's-
yes, we know.
He was having to look for Norm.
Yeah.
No, my damn ham alert wouldn't stop going off.
They were
Between him and
POTAing for
NAYO.
days.
Yeah.
So I gotta say something ham radio related.
Oh,
Now,
well, this
okay.
is a ham radio adjacent show.
Breaking
I-
news.
I would have to say I appreciate the reviews that I saw this week on the what is it, the Zygu 106 or 601 or
Yeah,
whatever.
the G106.
Finally some honest reviews about the Zygu after the 6100 radio review, like, oh, buy it, it's amazing. Even though it doesn't work, I'm so happy that there was some honest like calling of the bull crap of radio that it is. So that's my 2 cents on that. Thank you, Mike.
You know what I watched?
Dude,
I watched the POTA show. The guys from Parks on the Air. The
yeah,
admins
so
who
did
did
I.
all the
I
awards.
was roaring. I was watching that at work today.
I
missed it.
I forgot about where we were in how we did our thing and everything. But so many, I gotta tell you something. So many
comedians.
guys POTA their heart out in 24 hours. Amazing. You guys and gals were amazing that weekend, as well as every other day of the year. But still, absolutely incredible numbers.
I started watching, and then I forget what somebody came over. Oh yeah, I had friends come over. Yes, I have friends. Well, I had friends came over, and I was waiting to see us. And the biggest thing about it was you guys were like, "Hey, I'm Joe Brett. Hey, I'm Izzo. I'm Steven. And I was like half sick. I was like, "I'm Daniel VA3STO."
I told you. You had a preview.
Well, the first version of it was like everybody except for me. I was like, "Well, I got to put my name." And I was at the fair, so I was like walking, and I don't know how
you're angry about walking.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
I would too in 2-inch heels too. I at a fair.
Were you hunting the turkey leg?
Were you looking for the corn dogs?
No, he was trying to arm the cow.
I was gonna go over because they had the 4-H that was going on at the fair,
Mhm.
and they had the cows there. I was gonna go and stand behind one and be like, "Hey, I'm Daniel."
Oh, you should have, man. That would have been great. That's a QSL card.
But
Dude,
if I
that's
screamed out, if anybody got a glove, then like I'm sure I would get.
Yeah,
Dude.
everyone would look at you and go, "Sir, this is not that kind of place."
Well, I have one, but I really shouldn't be giving it out. That's a QSL card, though, Daniel.
There you go. Yeah, that would be a good QSL card.
Well, and so that's why I wanted to see the picture before of our thumbnail, because in the Discord, Scout 75 says you got to do a special event and make that your QSL card, and I think we should.
I like that idea. Mm-hmm. Scouts always got the good ideas.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that hard to get that printed either.
No.
Could Office Max that.
Do you think that the copyright on those paintings is over by now?
I mean, we're not selling anything.
Isn't it like 50 years for copyright? I don't know.
Oh, God, I have no idea. Like 200 years ago. Come on.
Please. I've done hard time for a lot less.
I'll send you a nickel.
Yeah.
Before we get too far away from it, I need to go back to the Huntsville situation.
Oh, okay.
For those that are watching and may be lucky enough to be staying in a cabin for the first time, because if you stayed in there before, you know. But first thing on my list of things to pack is power strips.
Oh, yes. There's like 2.
Yeah.
In the entire place.
There's 2 plugs in the entire place. Yep.
Yeah.
These cabins were built in the 1900s, and
Right.
you know, they added a couple of power outlets over the years.
2-prong, not 3.
No, they're 3.
They're 3.
There's 3. I don't know how many of the prongs are hooked up, but
Is there a GFI in the bathroom or in the kitchen sink area?
There's no plug
There's no
in the
power
bathroom.
there.
Oh, well,
And the shower is this big.
30 by 30
Yep. 30. Yep.
inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're
oh
lucky.
my
You
God.
can you step halfway in and wash one
Right.
side.
One
and then
leg at a time.
Then you
But my
turn
wa-
around,
but my
step
waist
in
is
and
a-
wash the
so
other
wait a
side. You're
minute.
good.
I'm
And
a
you gotta
36.
crouch
Wait, I'm a
down.
36 waist. So how do I squeeze in?
I'm a
whole
40
lot of
waist,
soap?
and it was a lot.
You're gonna have to soak me up.
I had to stand sideways in there.
You should
Oh my
probably
God.
bring a rag and stand at the sink.
I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
soak me up, please. We're
Yeah.
all brothers. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
those,
that may
those-
be just a hose
those
outside with
those-
a sprinkler.
Well, no, it's kind of chilly. I don't know if I'd be out there
Oh,
advertising.
We'll find out about that.
But the water was hot, had good water pressure. The top of the shower will hit you about right there,
Okay.
Mhm.
and I'm 6 foot tall. So
Well, Shane, you got to admit, the ceiling of the shower was only about 6'5".
that's true. you can brace yourself by holding onto the ceiling. But they're really cool. They're really cool cabins.
Yeah, they're great cabins.
And if you get one, is it just the ones that that are pet friendly, or that they allow pets, or that's the only one that has a screened in porch?
No,
No,
mine
they
was
just- Okay.
not a pet friendly, and I had the screened in porch.
Gotcha. Mine was, but the back patio wasn't covered.
So what's the protection from the critters coming in and taking your 4-legged
Big
fur babies
ass,
away?
big ass
Oh.
doors.
I will also say, if you get a cabin that has the back porch and not the front porch, the picnic table that's out back Bring something to sit on if you plan on using it.
I think those
They do
picnic
not-
tables were built in the 1900s too.
They do not pressure wash those. Yeah, that was awful.
Well, even one with the front porch. You remember, I had a picnic table outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Of course, we did have a little bit of alcohol in us, so we didn't care what was on the.
So what
big-
you're
Right.
saying is just take the cushions from the dining room.
That's
with
what
you
I
on the
did.
trip, right? And
What
then
dining
at
room?
the end, and then when you're done, you throw them out, and that's a good reason to go buy new.
There you go.
cushions, see? This is how we keep the economy going.
Arthur, thank you so much for the
Arthur,
$4.90
man, thank you.
$4.99 super
Thank
chat
you.
for the Sealand Club dues. Thank you
I
so
think
much.
I think he also possibly gave last week. So if he did, thank you. That's twice now. Thank you, Arthur.
I will be right back.
Go fix yourself.
Lindsay said, or bring a sender. There's so much gunk, tree
Is it
gunk,
really?
moss on these tables.
Oh,
You'd have
Sorry,
to
boys.
change
I
the
just had
sender.
to make contact with the Indiana State Fair.
nice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, somebody put in the chat saying it was on 14-338.
338.
Yeah, 14-338. So I made contact with it, and very good. He's got a nice signal. So, anyways, what are you guys talking about? I got distracted by radio. I'm
Steve,
sorry.
is there anything that you're looking for when you go to Huntsville?
Are you still talking about Huntsville? I'm going back to radio.
I don't know at this point. I've got a couple things I'm looking at, but I don't know if I'm going to actually go through with it now that I may be in the job market.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Got you. There's probably
know.
some of those there, too.
If the right deal comes through, I may just say screw it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to find something that puts a little more fire in the wire. But
That would be good. Izzo just hit me at 20 over.
oh yeah,
I
He's
just
got
turned
you-
on my SDR to see if I could hear it.
I gotta find myself a new radio, guys.
wow.
What are you wanting?
I'm itching for a new radio. I'm not too sure. I think I need something mobile. I think I need to get myself 891 or something like that.
891, a 7100.
Yeah.
The 7100's good. It's a lot to take mobile unless you build something.
Yeah, it's a little there's a lot of
There's a lot of extra wires and stuff.
maybe the 991A or I don't know.
991A is a little big, but
Big, but
doable.
does everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can take a 7300 mobile for that.
Yeah. But I'm a Yaesu fan.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Kurt, that's what I want, the 7610.
There he
just-
is.
I just
Whiskey
worked
Alpha 7, Papa Bravo Echo. He is.
Oh, yep.
What did he win there? He won
Overall
Top-
QSOs?
something
top
on POTA.
activator.
He won a
Top single
participation trophy on POTA.
No, single operator. He did a serious job. He did some.
Yeah,
Him and James Linden and a whole bunch of other guys. Man, I wish if James was in the chat, I want to say congratulations. He did it all without the barbecue potato chips too.
I got a serious question for Pat. I was watching Jason stream the other night. Did the edibles hit you halfway through the show? Is that? I'm just asking.
Damn. Out the boy.
It's the funniest thing. He just starts to like, maybe he was tired. I don't know. But
Molson really loves that border, doesn't he?
Right? Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
come at me, bro. No, I don't. I think Pat's a great guy. I'm just just playing around. Anyways, okay, I gotta go for a smoke, guys. I'll be back.
Oh sure, yeah. leave us for that.
Yeah.
What's that? A
My
hit and
question is,
run?
what's he going to go smoke? You know?
Yeah, hit and run.
Uh-huh.
I just worked the guys on the Indiana State Fair, and
I don't
Molson's
do
right.
that stuff. Never have. Just saying.
Yeah. Izzo, I had my SDR Uno going, and you were booming in here.
Beautiful. They got a beautiful signal. They're about 5.9, 20 over right now. It's but
Every once in a while, they'll peak my meter at an S9, but it's just a quick blip. It's not. I don't have enough to make them out.
yeah, Sunday night. Yeah, because Sunday we did some stuff with the kids when they got home from work, and then I sat on the back porch, and band conditions have been funny, man. I mean, welcome to cycle 25. I guess it is what it is, but it's you get the, when the A index is like a 20 or a 25 or something crazy, and wind speeds are, in the 700s or upper sixes. I'm like, holy cripes,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just mounted my 5100 into the vehicle I'm bringing to Huntsville.
Nice.
Don't tell my father I just mounted a radio at his truck.
Well, I mean, you did announce it on a YouTube live show.
Yeah, but he doesn't watch it. So
Oh,
it's
well,
okay.
okay.
Come out the same way it went in. That's okay.
It will, and it's not permanently mounted. Of course,
It should. It should be.
Well, I have a Lido mount that fits in the CD tray and holds the head unit of the 5100. So it'll slide right out, and
Oh, there you go.
just a mag mount using the new signal stock. So
one of my club officers and I we were talking the other day. He lives around the corner from me, and we're talking about club activity, our local club, and we're talking about some of the systems we have here in Connecticut and how maybe they're not being utilized. And we were coming up with ideas of why we think. And one of the things that we kind of said at the same time was, is it perhaps these newer model vehicles don't appear to have the room? But if guys would just do some research, Lido and so many others offer you that opportunity. Split, go ahead, throw the body of the radio under the seat or somewhere else in the back end, the trunk area, the hatchback area, whatever, over by the spare tire, and you'll be amazed at what you
they
can
have
do.
spare tires nowadays?
depending on the vehicle,
Right?
Yeah.
some of them give you a can of slime and a wing and a prayer.
Curious, how
get the
does the CD mount? Is your gear inside there not constantly trying to feed a CD in there?
No, because it's just short enough; it doesn't trigger it.
Oh, okay.
I've
seen them, but I've always kind of wondered.
Yeah, me too. That's right.
But the problem is I can't get to the radio controls. So luckily I know where the steering wheel controls are, and I can change everything through that.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
don't need both on at the same time. You may accidentally rebroadcast copyrighted music.
No, because I'm going to be listening to the HRCC podcast on the 8-hour drive out there. And that'll take up most of the drive.
Well, I was going to say, that'll only you'll only get through 2 episodes.
I only have one. Josh, go ahead and post that next one.
Yeah.
Because I know you're headed out there, so they probably haven't finished.
Speaking of, I messed up last week when I uploaded the podcast. I went back and was uploading the week right after we left, right shortly after the show, and I went and looked, and I was like, wait a minute, I never did.
Kyle,
Kyle,
never. Oh,
AA0 says, does Lido make a cassette adapter for his El Camino?
Take me back now. Look at it.
Don't let me tell you a story.
Wait. Tango Oscar Mike has the better comeback. It was an 8-track.
It was 8-track. Thank you.
If I don't remember it, says.
Yeah.
8-track tapes players were incredible because you would mount them right under the metal. Those days, the dashboard was metal. And you'd hook up.
You
your
get a
CD.
good ground on that too.
You get a good for your CD. You get a good ground right there. And if you hit a bump, the 8 tracks, there was 4 tracks, and if you hit a bump a certain way, especially here in New England, in the springtime when it's pothole season, you can automatically switch tracks. And it would just jump.
Why is it called an 8-track if there was only 4?
There's
2 sides.
2 sides.
Yeah. So you can flip it over.
No. Well, you didn't have to flip it over. It would unlike a cassette tape, which would come to the end.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to pull it out and turn out 8-track. You could just run and run and run. I fell asleep while I was having a good time. We'll just leave it at that. I was having a good time one night. And we were listening
to self-incrimination.
We were listening to Boston. And next thing I know, I woke up and I woke up to track 1 after falling asleep in track 2 or 3. So it was just playing and playing and playing. Yeah. And even guys who are older than me may remember you can get a record player in the cars back in the 50s. They actually made a record player.
Did you
I
play
think
singles or something?
I think it was a 45. I think, but you can get and it would be right where that center hump mount was.
Hmm.
Yep. So
Well,
there
I
you
guess
go.
the magnetic tape in it was wide enough to where like A was on the top, B was on the bottom, and
And it would never jam like a cassette tape. The cassette tape, you had to keep a pencil with you at all times.
Oh, to dig it out.
To dig it out. 8-tracks never jammed for me. I never had that issue.
Yeah.
So
my boss was he got some mail in at the office the other day, and he opened it up, and it was a couple 8-tracks. He's like, "All I did was look at these on eBay." I said, "Obviously, you clicked a button."
That was not the back button.
Yeah, it said buy it now, not back.
Yeah.
Oops.
and brother Don knows about the reel to reel. I never had reel to reel. I never had that. That was a little bit before me, and just never had the money. But and then all of a sudden we started buying those newfangled devices where you can take an 8-track tape player and you can tape cassette off it, or you can buy the separate modules and hook them all up. And yeah, Tom Tango Oscar Mike Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell, absolutely incredible. He passed away back in January.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was reading how an 8-track works. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
they say
Don't get lost in that Google wormhole.
Oh,
They say the reel to reels had incredible audio quality compared to other modes.
For the day, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it plays 2 tracks at a time, making it stereo.
And it's really cool listening to some of the 70s rock and roll today, because all of a sudden you're left, because of how they produced that song, they would throw some musical instruments to one channel, which is on your left side or your right side. And if you're driving at night, it could be a little freaky. If like a little Pink Floyd sometimes will do that. Sometimes some Crosby, Stills, and Nash, you could hear that in there, and I love that, man.
Maybe some Iron Butterfly.
There you go, another one, yeah. Anagata Davida, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's got the car going in the background?
Not me.
Mm-mm.
That is my neighbor having fun with his Honda 3-wheeler.
I thought they outlawed those.
Doesn't he know not on Tuesday nights?
He is an outlaw.
Okay.
But not on Tuesday nights. That's all I gotta tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Hey, man,
just for
cut
2
that.
hours. 2 hours for Tuesday nights.
Oh, let me tell you. So, I mean, it's kind of neat that he's got this 3-wheeler, because when I was young, he had the same. I forget what it is, Honda 300EX. It was the sporty 3-wheeler. And
Death Machine.
when our road was gravel, he was always riding wheelies. He was on the back 2 wheels everywhere he went. He tries to
way to ride it.
Yeah. He's out there right now trying to recreate that. I can tell by the sound, but
Going back to his youth.
right. He happened to come across another one, but I can deal with that better than I can he come up with like this 1950s model tractor, and I have to cut 2 meters off when he's got that tractor running. You can see on the scope, it just pegs it out. RF coming out off of it. It's like a spark gap.
It has points in that thing, I believe.
Oh, probably.
And a magneto.
The Magneto. I was just gonna say the Magneto.
So you're saying I should not put a ham radio in the Volkswagen?
Probably not.
Oh, why not?
It'd be fine while you're not running the motor.
I was going to try to do HF Mobile with it. It's
Ham
all
in your
steel
car.
body.
Joe, not for nothing. That's kind of cool listening to it. If we don't, hang on.
Oh, he's parking it. Sounds like.
Man, the show is rocking tonight. We're listening
So,
to Joe's neighbor's 4-wheeler
If it's
or 3-wheeler.
if it's not
brought to you
Joe's
by
rain,
Yamaha.
if it's not Joe's rain, it's to the Honda,
Right,
the
I'm sorry,
Honda
Honda.
trike.
Yeah.
Talking about the rain. No, never mind. Daniel's back. We can't go back to Huntsville.
You got rain coming, buddy.
It's forecasted for
Next-
Huntsville all weekend.
You can talk Huntsville. You can talk Huntsville.
Well, we had another Joe Brett. You had a Parks on the Air segment that you wanted to get to tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, that was one of those Molson rats.
Look
Yeah.
at Molson Molson salivating right there, like he's getting ready.
He
to
was
dig into
waiting
a
for me to
steak.
bring that up.
Yeah.
We got
So
76 people in here, so we might as well jump on it.
might as well, and it's gonna upset some people, but it's all right. I mean, ham radio is supposed to be fun, right? If Beer Snack was here, he would be preaching fun. I see this post on a particular social media site, and
Matt's here, so
yeah, and
You say POTA 3 times and Matt arrives.
hey Matt, how we doing?
Hey, Matt, great job the other night, Matt.
So this guy asked a question about what would you think, and I guess that was the first problem, was asking people what they thought.
Or to think.
Yeah, about shutting down the spotting page, closing the group for one weekend, and everybody actually have to hunt for their POTA stations. And the POTA activators and stuff were like, I will not put that much effort into going out, setting up, and not being able to be spotted. But I get some of the arguments because my closest park is 30 minutes away. It would be a little aggravating without having a spot because that makes it a lot easier. People can just look to see where you're at. But I got to thinking back when I was on my Kenwood TS440 starting out in HF. I didn't have no band scope. I actually had to turn the dial and listen for stations.
Preach it, Joe. Preach it. Absolutely.
I thought it was a great idea. I was I'm like, hey, one weekend? Sure. But man, there was so much heated arguments about, I mean, you know, the typical thing where people are like, shut up, go away. And I just didn't agree with that. And I think some folks is just a little too serious about it. And let's remember it's fun.
Well,
but
when I did my rove last year for Support Your Parks, one of the parks I was at did not have internet access. And I did not write down the park number. And of course, my first contact was a park to park, and he didn't have internet access either.
Hey, small world.
Yeah. No,
Luckily,
that's bonus points, isn't it?
Yahtzee!
yeah. Luckily,
I win.
there was another hunter that could hear us both and was able to give me my park number and helped us out.
And this, kids, is why you prepare before you go out and do
Well,
POTA.
but someone knows.
I had it
Joe
written down.
But Joe brings up a point, though. Have we, as a ham radio society, have we become so needy that, guys, it's going to be all
ham
right.
radio. It's
This
not
is-
just ham radio.
But it's going to be okay. It's
As a
going to
society.
be have fun. Joe is right. I love taking that
But
VFO.
my opinion
and go up-
matters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feeling? Oh, let me give you a hug and free therapy sessions for a month. You know what it was called? Get over it.
Beer.
Back in my day. You're thirsty? Go drink from the hose, from the garden hose. Let's go.
Yeah,
No,
Jody
but
brings up
Jody-
a good comment. Jody says, "CQ POTA. Can somebody tell me what park I'm at?" If you're like, listen, I turned left where the McDonald's was, and then I turned right, and I'm in that park right there. That's the one. Like
I had
know what the name of the park
Yeah.
is.
No, I had the park name. I just forgot to write down the park number.
Okay.
You just
We've
got
all
to drive back
forgot-
to town, look it up, and come
We
back.
have all forgotten things. And when Steve came into my house back in the winter, he saw what I keep with me on my clipboard, the whole roster of Connecticut. But again, that's only because I didn't carry that on day one. We have all left something at home, and it's going to be okay.
I don't argue the fact, and I completely understand, absolutely, 100%. It would not be as fun to try to activate a park and not have a spot.
Well, but at the same
I think-
point, we know people that used to activate completely without spotting themselves, and sometimes they never got spotted, but they'd still get their 10 contacts in under a half hour.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Okay.
think some POTA operators are being little princesses. Like when I sit here at home and I call CQ for 20 minutes and get one contact, and then for another 5 minutes and get one contact. Like that's just the way 90% of radio operators work. They don't have, yes, people can add you
Yep.
to the cluster, but that
Good
that
point.
takes
Yeah.
like 10 confirmations, and like it's just it's
Right.
sometimes you never get up there, right? Like that's, let's be honest, but like there is a challenge to ham radio. That's part of the fun, is when you get that pilot that builds up after you've tried. I don't think it's a big deal if you. I think it's a fun, like Pat said before, that would be challenging. I think it'd be a good challenge.
Yeah.
But like, listen, could you imagine if the POTA site went down? Like
Lose their effing
how
mind.
these people lose their crap?
Yeah,
like
Well,
really,
lose
like
their mind.
Wait, it's already happened.
I was just going to say it's
I
happened.
bet they
once or
posted
twice that I
about it
know.
on Facebook.
Yes, they did.
Oh,
That's how I
Is the
found
POTA
it.
Facebook.
page down?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is the spot page down?
Somebody better call Jason. Call him up.
Someone to have
No.
Matt on speed dial.
Yes. Tell you what,
Yep.
they're all
I
volunteers
demonstrated,
too. They're
but-
all maybe they're with their families, or maybe they're out in the parks operating, or maybe they're in the middle of setting up and they don't know. It'll be all
Turn
right.
the dial. Just turn the dial. And that goes for people who are doing activations as well. Don't sit there and go CQ POTA, CQ POTA, CQ Parks on the air. CQ. Put some effort into it.
You know
Give
what
us
I
about
did?
a minute diatribe.
You know what I did one time on
Parks on the
40
air.
do it?
Tell us where you're
Can I
at.
do a sample? Can I do a sample of what a POTA activation CQ calling should be?
Sure.
Go ahead, go for it.
You have a
Yeah.
copy of James's CQ?
His script.
No. See, you got to be. So what I learned from ham radio YouTube is you got to be vibrant, exciting. Like what was that? Not Becca with her video calling CQ. Remember with I think it was this dude. So it should be something like, "Hey, ham fam, how you doing? This is Daniel VA3SDO calling CQ POTA. CQ POTA, come on." And that's what it should be like.
Why do I
Thank
hear
you for that soundbite.
AG5H?
I was about to say, Joe, that was gold.
Can you do that again in the Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie?
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
going to
record that.
That'll be for the
Exactly.
October support your parks weekend.
Put that
No,
in the
yeah.
first year.
we'll use that this weekend.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I did. Go ahead.
Matt says anyone is welcome to operate without the spotter if that's what we want to do. Absolutely.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You
Open
don't
the
have
page.
to use it. You don't have to go on Facebook and say, "Hey, in 3 hours I'm going to be here." I do it. I'll post on Twitter sometimes. "Hey guys, I'll be out there in a couple hours. See you then." But guess what? It's not my be all that ends all kind of a thing. I remember one time working one of the parks on 40 meters. Nothing was going on. And this is back in the day when I think it was a Tuesday. Now, back in the day, they would tell you Tuesday was the worst day to go POTA because it wasn't as popular. Who was working? But I had the day off. I said, I'm going. I got on a net. And obviously the net said, "Hey guys, hello." He acknowledged me. "What are you doing?" I said, "Hey, I'm out in the field. I'm playing POTA. I'm going to probably be about 10 kc down from here." And guess what? I made contacts after. A bunch of guys followed me down, and I activated the park. There's ways of having fun and doing it without the technology side.
Adam,
of
welcome. You're on
spotting.
empties.
I think the point is it's not a challenge to POTA, right? Like, so I'm not a POTA person, but I don't see this as I don't think anybody should interpret it as somebody trying to change the program. I think it's somebody trying to challenge other people, right? And so that can happen, like Matt said, apart from POTA in a different way, because POTA is a program that's established. It's a whole thing. You're not going to just shut down the switch overnight. Just okay, we're having a good
But
weekend.
my suggestion,
But I
though,
think-
Molson.
I think it's a valid. I think the problem is people don't like people's suggestions to push buttons, to change things, or to challenge themselves. Right? That's a lot of time. Even us in the clubhouse, we have some ideas for some things that we want to do that are a little bit different than the norm. And people will probably be opposed to what we want to do just because that's how people don't like change. And so it's not about changing a
They
program.
don't like change. You're right.
It's not about discrediting something. It's about just what can we do to add a little bit of a twist to it, and people do it all the time. QRP rigs.
I was about to
right?
say QRP.
Like
You want to add a
it's-
twist to it?
it's just adding a twist or a next level of challenge, and so and that's it. And it's the fact that people get their panties up in a bunch. That's the problem, you know. And I understand what you say is though is like people, you know, it's almost becomes like an addiction where it's like I must have, you know.
Well, not only that. Well, no. Well,
They want instant gratification. They don't want to sit there and call CQ for 30 minutes.
there is an addiction, and it's a good addiction. I'm very happy, including myself. I'm very happy, and I'm very proud of my hobby. I am. I'm very, very proud. And I know. Listen, we all have our hobbies, and I'm sure everybody. You talk to the stamp collector, he's going to be just as excited about stamp collecting. God bless you. Go have fun and do your thing. But I know for me, and I'm going to tell this to everyone else. Try doing something that's not routine. I have never gone to a park. I have never played out in my backyard and just do a typical routine. That's when your hobby starts to become boring. Try something different. Step outside of that box in your comfort zone. Step outside of that box and have, as Beer Snack would say, have fun.
Go have fun.
Have fun.
Well, and on the spotter comment, Tom and I, and actually one other gentleman, went down to Old Island. We did not spot, and we had a 90-minute pile up.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Maritime Mobile, no spot, and it never stopped. We hit the wrong button.
A lot of ways of doing it.
Hit the wrong button on the 7300 a few times and had to scramble to get back to our frequency, but
Oh, that's why I hit the lock button.
That's why they make a lock button, and that's how you learn.
Because I'm notorious for bumping the dial.
I did. One guy said to me,
dropping the radio on the ground.
Or dropping the radio,
One guy said to me one day, "Yeah, you sound 5 to 6 kC off." I'm looking like, "Oh yeah, he's right."
Would you hit the RIT?
Like, whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
Yep.
You remember me sharing my story where I was calling CQ and made about the 6th contact. The guy said, "Oh, by the way, you're on lower sideband." I was on 20 meters. So he said, if you go to upper sideband, you probably get more contacts.
Our first contact was that way when we went out to Old Island.
No kidding.
I was just amazed I got that many contacts.
Yeah.
Before they called me.
That's why I tell everybody, try a new antenna. Try a different. Take your sloper and make it into an inverted V.
Right.
Or whatever. Just have fun. It'll be okay. Stop taking this thing so darn serious and have fun. And then you'll realize what this hobby really is. Yeah, we guys, I'm gonna let everyone in on a secret, okay? If you think
it's an Izzo moment here.
If
an
you
Izzoism.
If you think ham radio is going to save the world like it did in Independence Day and other things, you're watching too many movies. You're watching too many movies. Okay.
You heard it here first.
I can't imagine. Forget POTA. I can't imagine any of these organizations that do things out of the kindness of their heart, how they can, how they deal with just the Karens in ham radio.
Oh God!
Like I know, it steals the joy. Like when you do something out of the kindness of your heart because you're passionate about it, there's a joy that you have when you do it, right?
Yep.
And then somebody comes along and starts treating you like, an employee or they're paying for a service, and it just puts such a negative spin on it. And really it starts to rob you of the joy that you get from doing that thing sometimes. And I can't imagine especially with certain industries or, how it must be for people to imagine Steve, you do checking whatever in a call zone, right?
Yep.
Imagine you get a nasty email saying, "I can't believe you haven't uploaded my logs. This is unacceptable." Is that acceptable?
I was about to say that already happens.
If I could show you some of the help desk emails, and Matt will back me up on that. We have had quite a few that.
Yeah, but
before you guys jump down the rabbit hole, I do have to work early in the morning, so I have to step out. It's an hour and a quarter in. But thank you guys for another wonderful evening. Thanks for the 80 folks that are hanging out. I'm going to bounce out. I'll keep you in the background while I finish up from David.
Shane is leaving the clubhouse.
73 to everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'll say farewell to you guys.
Well,
see you next Tuesday, Shane.
Well, bye.
To Molson's point, And Steve, maybe you can give us some percentages if you can. I'll bet you it's a very small number, but the problem is they get that soapbox and they become very loud about it. I bet you it's a very small number. That's
It
why
is.
I love seeing all of the positive stuff. James out there, Ham Radio Venture Guy, he takes the time and he talks to people. I've heard him a few times. Him and the many other people who do that. And it's great when you hear it. It's nice when you see that on the Facebook group page. And but I bet you we don't see that enough or hear that about enough.
And I've got to give props to the Facebook moderators that we have. They tend to shut stuff down very quickly that gets out of hand.
Every time I go to comment, it's already turned off.
This is America. We have free speech.
You can have free speech on your own page.
Right. Right.
You know.
But I was actually quite shocked, just to say about POTA. Sorry, go ahead, Steve. I cut you off.
Well, James said something about, he could call, or is this frequency used 3 times, and somebody would come back to him.
Yeah.
But that's because everybody expects him to be in the park 24/7 now.
Yeah.
My ham alert doesn't stop with him because
let me tell you
screwed
something.
up and put him in for POTA. And
when I ask if the frequency is used and that individual says yes and they give me their call sign, guess what I do? I log them in. I log them. Thank you, sir. You're 5'9" here in Connecticut. Thank you. And I will move. Counts.
Absolutely. Because he doesn't have to turn anything in.
And there's nothing to get discouraged about that. I just find another frequency or another band. That's why I love it, man. That's what I love about POTA. POTA has given me POTA. I think I for those of you who are new here and everything, I was the guy who bought my first 7300 like 6-7 years ago. It sat there, had dust on. I was getting ready to sell it, get rid of it, and just continue to play with VHF, UHF here, locally. And then POTA, and then I find KAMRD. I find KAMRD, and I've told Mike this. He was my inspiration. Him and Lord Cal for my house, for here. But Mike got the bug going for me here locally to say, how can I do it? And I challenged myself. And I'm not a technical guy. I'm not a construction guy. I'm not an engineer. I don't take care of wastewater treatment plants and radiation, nuclear power plants. I'm a simple guy, and that's how I like my life. I'm okay with that. But guess what, man? Challenge myself in my own realm of worlds and have fun. And thank God for Matt, Hurry, and Vince and Vance and all those guys and so many of the other people behind the scenes, man. That's why, folks, if you want to do something nice, go to Amazon. Go to Amazon Smiles, and you can have your money go towards a donation towards the Parks on the Air program. And that's a great way of supporting them. Let Amazon give them some money off of your purchases.
Smile.amazon.com.
Yeah, guess what, guys? A little bit adds up to a lot. It adds up to a lot. So
let me find that email that I got today on that. Since January 1st to March 31st, Parks on the Air received $284.08 just from the Amazon Smile program.
I imagine how much is from .is.
You ain't the only one, brother.
I know, we all are, and that's a good thing. That's why I've been promoting it. I promoted it throughout my club and for other people. Other time I could talk, man. It's a nice way of giving something back to those people. Let Amazon give some of that money to them. It ain't coming out of your pocket.
I was gonna say, it doesn't cost us anything.
Does it cost us anything? And it helps keep the program going and giving us what's called the opportunities.
Yep. 4-wheel, and I got your QSL card in the mail today. I'll get one out to you.
Yeah, 4-wheel, and thank you, man. Yours will be going out, I think, Thursday or Friday. So thank you, 4-wheel.
I may take some to Huntsville with me and write them out while I'm there.
But Molson, I'm sure you've seen this. You know what you're talking about. There is always that small group who becomes very opinionated. And I don't mind people having opinions, but guess what I say? If you're going to come to the table and start pointing out things, why not bring the solutions with you also? And become part of that program to help out then. Fit somewhere in that organization.
I don't think the opinions are. We all have opinions. We're stating ours now.
Mhm.
It's the ability to converse with people and listen. That's the problem we have, right? It's giving the other guy a shot and hearing out what they have to say, and that's not only a problem in POTA. That's a problem in society and politics and everything besides for ham radio, where we actually listen to each other and give kudos to good ideas and credit where credit is deserved, right? And that's an issue. That's the biggest pandemic of the 2000s. Is if you want me to tell you that is that we just don't. And opinions are fine. Opinions are fine, but you just have to know that sometimes your opinion or your idea is not the best one, and be willing to acknowledge that and move on and listen to other people and give them credit where it's due. You know,
Good
like
point.
I don't have an issue with people's opinions, you know, and that's pretty much it. Like, and then from that it goes into just like, you know, there's other issues too, but I think at the end of the day, you know, it's far from just a ham issue. It's far from it, you know.
It's a societal issue, unfortunately.
I remember being in the food industry when I got promoted to management. They sent me to one of these 2-day courses, and the first day, you know, the guy talked about what we said earlier, change. It was titled the 6-letter word called change, of how how as humans we get so used to certain things that it's hard for us to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at this one just popped into my head. When TV stations went digital, when they went off the analog and they pulled the plug. Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh my God. And here we are, what, 12 years later, or how long, however it's been.
Most everybody was on cable anyway.
Right. And now,
you can still get free TV channels.
Free TV channels you get,
and they're uncompressed. They're higher definition than cable most of the time. Like, it's just you have to buy a new antenna.
Back in my previous life, we bought this antenna called the Winegard. Winegard makes a dual band Yagi for TV, VHF, UHF. You go on the FCC database, you put in your address to where you are, your height above ground. They calculate what stations you can watch on TV. Was able to hear them all, and guess what? There was QVC and the Home Shopping Network. They got on board to make sure that they were pumping their audio and their visual to the on-air HD people as well as the cable channel. So there you go. You're all set.
Dude, a couple of years ago, I went to a buddy's place, and the guy had a PVR with the menu and like all the channels. I'm like, oh yeah, who's your provider? He's like, oh, I have an antenna outside. And he had 2 antennas, and he was able to get a box like the cable box, and with a website it would do the whole menu of what's on. It would do like, you know, remember the old TV guide? That was the best. It was like the TV guide, but you know, the same thing. He could do PVR, you know, like, or record it, and I was just mind blown that he was getting like, I think it was something like 30 channels from the States and from Canada, just with these little antennas. And they're not expensive either. They're like $80 antennas, and you pay one time and boom, you have essentially equivalent to cable. And it was actually, there's a problem. Sometimes it would do a little lag and then continue. I said, what's that? And he goes, oh, that's because the signal is too good for the unit that he had. Because it's not compressed. Like I said, it's just like a straight signal. So,
do you guys remember when you said TV Guide? Do you guys actually remember the publication, the TV Guide publication?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
we all lived for that, because you would take that.
They had the weekly one, right?
The weekly one, and you take it into the bathroom, and you would do the crossword puzzle. It was the easiest crossword puzzle. A lot. It boosted your self-esteem. You know, blank days. Oh, that's easy. Happy days. I mean, everyone got that one, and it just made it so easy. And it was like the Reader's Digest. And I remember when they stopped making that, a bunch of people wigged out. You know, they're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?"
And see, Matt fits in because he comes in with the dad jokes.
Go ahead and read it.
2 antennas got married. The wedding was so-so, but the reception was terrific.
They had a great connection.
They had a great connection. There you go, Joe Brett. Look at them.
I should do that. I should buy myself one of those old TV antennas. I pay for satellite right now. Satellite TV. You remember when satellite TV had the huge dish?
I was just
Oh,
going
yeah.
to say,
Oh,
Steve,
remember that?
when you met Scotty back in January, Molson, my buddy Scotty he was like the first, the first guy on the block. He had this satellite dish on the top of his house. The diameter of that thing had to be 20 feet. It probably weighed close to 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And he
Joe,
picked
can
up
you tune that up on 2 meters?
I bet you he
Oh,
can.
sure, yeah.
I bet you Joe can do at least 440 in the higher bands too.
Oh,
Man, I've
That-
almost got a 20-meter dipole.
I was gonna say that could go out to 6, maybe even 10.
When you think about it, when I was a kid, I was like 10, 12 years old. I bought my first TV from a tag sale, and I took the speaker wire, I made the antenna, and some days the stations would come in, the New York stations would come in good, and some days they weren't. Guess what? You know what that was? That was propagation when you think about it. We were actually learning about propagation, just really didn't know about it.
But that was back
Yeah.
when you had to actually hold the antenna to get it just right.
Yes. I used to steal my mother's. My mom had these crochet hooks, and I would hang them. And of course, you were not. I was not allowed to watch the Tonight Show. So
we had
I
those.
used to-
We had those Yagis on our house, like the TV Yagi
Yeah.
or the rotor.
TV Yag,
rotator.
yeah.
Rotor?
I've actually got-
You had a
Rotor.
rotor?
Yeah.
We had
I've
a
got
rotor.
one
I
of the
had to
rotors
go-
right here.
Yeah.
I had to go
TV
outside
rotor.
when Dad yelled, "Go out and turn it."
Turn like a
Whoa!
certain channel. Hold up, stop.
How do you know
Go
you're
back.
a redneck without telling me you're a redneck? We used to turn the TV antenna with a broomstick. Dad.
let me tell you this. When I got my first Yagi for 2 meters before I had my rotator. So when I put it up on the tower, I left some rope tied to the end of the boom.
I was
and
just
I'd go
going to
out there
tell
and
you,
pull
it's
it
a
around.
rope. That's what my grandfather taught me. You leave 2 things of rope, like a inverted V. So
Yeah.
when you have to go pull it, you can shimmy it one way or the other.
Yeah, but remember the
Guy
TV
wires.
knobs with the detents?
Oh yeah,
Oh
Right.
my God, yeah.
that's back when you were the remote control.
That's right.
Your
Yes,
parents
you
didn't
were
need
the
one.
remote control. That's right.
Yeah.
Go
And then
change
there
the
was
channel.
what was it? There was the channel, and underneath it was the contrast or the
It was like a fine tune. It was like
it was a fine tuning or something like that. That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
no, I used to sneak and watch
I
TV,
gotta
and I
find a
would
picture of that.
take the blanket off of my bed, roll it all up, and shove it under the door so my mother couldn't see the light from under the door. You know?
There you go. I found a picture. What was that knob? Hold on. I wonder if I can find the TV we had when I was a kid.
See here
right.
from my area, it was the New York City market. It was the local channels, the 2 or 3 local. Then it was the New York City market, and I'm sure you guys around the country all had your big markets too. You know,
Mhm. So
I
who's
just
got the
looked up-
bingo card? Because Don just mentioned a Moxon.
A Moxon. I just looked up, Steve, and I thought you were wearing your microphone as a necklace.
Yeah. Let me move that a little bit. Yeah.
like the big clock on the chain.
no, Kyle, it was not what you didn't. You can only watch Charlie Chaplin. You couldn't hear what he had to say though. No, my earliest memories were the Little Rascals, the Bowery Boys. Oh, I love the Bowery Boys on Saturday mornings.
Saturday morning cartoons, baby.
Abbott,
Oh,
Abbott,
good.
Abbott and Costello.
Ugh.
Oh my God!
Classics.
Yes, the classics.
Uh,
Jody's
I'm
right.
trying to-
Yep.
I'm trying to see a zoomed in picture on that second knob. What was it?
Was that
It
the
had a-
UHF knob?
No, I'm talking about on the old school TVs there.
Oh, the older.
Yeah.
See, ours was there was a VHF button or a dial, the UHF, but the VHF, both of them had like a dial within a dial.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of fine tune it a
Well,
little bit. Take a little tin
so-
foil sometimes if you had to.
My father had a TV that he used to take on cruise with him.
You're right, Ron.
And because he was a junior officer at the time, he had to share a stateroom with another guy. Guy told him one day, he goes, "Sir, your TV's busted." He goes, No, give it a minute. He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You got to give it a minute. It's got to warm up."
Yes.
It was an 8-inch vacuum tube television.
Wow.
Guess what? We still have it. It still works.
No kidding.
I have to figure out how to hook it up to a Roku or something since we don't have cable anymore. But
How
I
about
had
the
one.
guy? Good, Joe.
When I was in college, I had one that ran off 12 volts. Plug it into your car adapter there, and it was an old CRT monitor. And I wish I still had that thing. I did not watch TV on it. There was a
Was that
spot on,
the deep one?
yeah,
It was
Yeah.
like really long.
yeah.
Mhm.
I had to
Hey,
sit in the
dude,
back
I
of
always
it.
wanted one of those.
But it was a mobile television, and how I got it, I don't know. But there was a spot on campus where all the telephone lines come out of the ground and up over a ditch, and then back into the ground. And I could park there and tune that TV in and hear every single analog line phone. This wasn't cordless phones. It was amazing to me. I could hear
Mhm.
every conversation at the same time, and that's how I spent my college.
Dude, those things were weren't they like $90 back in the day? It's a black TV. It was like a 5-inch screen. It was like a long thing, right?
Well, I didn't have that long, but mine was like a console looking. It looked like what you'd
Yeah.
have in your living room, but it was.
But Daniel, I know which one you're talking about.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want one. That all looks. It looks like the old school, almost security monitors was what it looked like. And I always wanted those for my bedroom so I can watch TV. And I never could get one because I never had money to do it. And yeah, it's unfortunate.
Do you guys
Those were
remember
the
the
days.
TVs that they used to market to all the sports people who would go to the stadiums? And the screen was probably maybe 3 to 5 inches square, but they'd also offer usually AM FM. So then the guys used to tell me, because I used to sell things outside of the stadium. I used to sell beer and other refreshments, and I see these guys coming in with these, with the strap, and they didn't care where they were in the stadium, but they could still watch the game, listen to it on TV or on the radio, but still have like a bird's eye view, and they were happy. And I'm sure when this whole HD TV thing, when these guys went, everyone went to tag sales, I guess, or went to the local dump next to Kyle's Bitcoin.
I was going to say, it all went to the dump because they went digital on the TVs and those didn't work anymore.
Right.
But yeah, Radio Shack used to sell those.
One of the reasons why when I bought my 706 Mark II was to listen to the local audio. I always said for emergency purposes, I could pick up one or two of the TV stations that were on VHF, and I could at least listen to the audio, and it actually worked a few times. Everybody in the neighborhood wanted to know what was going on. There's Izzo with his 706 Mark II G, listening to our local Channel 8 here and getting news of what's going on.
But you know what the biggest scam in TVs was, in my opinion?
What's that?
Rear projection.
Never had one. Why? What was the whole? And I never had one.
I never had one either, but everybody I knew that had one always had problems with alignment issues because you had to always, you had to get them a technician to always realign them all the time. And the minute that you're on any bit of an angle, the image is like super dark.
Trash.
You have to be right in front of it. It was a huge dollar price. Everybody thought it was the next thing. And I think they only lasted a short season. They weren't really long lived.
They had great sound though, man. They had those big
2 to 3
subwoofers
years,
built
I
in the
think.
bottom.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were huge and they were heavy.
My brother-in-law, like plasma TVs were coming out and all that, like at first it was plasmas and all. And he was like, oh, I got to get, if there was like a rear projection on the side of the road, he'd pick it up. He's like, this thing is the best. I'm like, yeah, no, there's new technology, right?
Was that the era?
I think he still has one.
Was that the
those things
era
were
of the VHS recorders?
Yep.
I tell you something, those old electronics like that are good for. I don't know so much about the TVs, but the old, you had the stacks of the home entertainment system that ran your sound and everything.
Absolutely.
I used to collect those, and whenever I needed a capacitor or something, and they were full of them. You had a Radio Shack warehouse right there.
Listen, I remember always wanting one of those stacks, and I think when I had the money to buy them, it was all sold in one unit. You know what I mean? You go from I always wanted to get the nice speakers with the multiple units. Not anymore. And that's like my Pioneer right there. I have a Pioneer. Everything's in the same thing. You used to have You used to have the record player, the cassette player. You used to have the,
That was the name.
and they
That
were
was
all
the
the
name.
same silver with the gold, trim or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it looked really sick. The whole cabinet from top to bottom, having like 4 or 5 units. And then when I could afford one, they were irrelevant. They weren't in use anymore. So, yeah. Anyways.
Well, a bunch of guys who the cameras who did the recording for the VHS. I remember he's a silent key now, but he ended up using his camera for fast scan TV on the ham bands. Somehow he was able to interface it to a radio as a transmitter. And I know nothing about SSTV and fast scan TV, so I know nothing. But he repurposed one of them, and one thing about our hobby. There you go. Go to a flea market, and there you go. Go to the tailgating section.
Oh yeah.
Well,
One man's junk is someone's treasures.
Another thing that's changed a lot. I remember years ago having a customer from Italy, and I had to find this is like when DVDs first came out. I had to find a DVD player that could play PAL. Because
Play what?
PAL.
What
PA. Is it? Well, it's the different encoding or language on DVD, whatever it is. I don't know.
We have NTSC. They have
NTSC is North Americans, like, I guess the way that the DVD
standard
reads it.
was that the standard? Yeah,
it's the standard.
Yeah. And then PAL was like European. Today, pretty much any computer will play any of them, right? Except you have to buy that stupid DivX encoder or whatever it is, right? But you can pretty much like plug and play any disc now into any computer. Or back in the day, even just a different DVD when it first came out was like you had to. Obviously, if you're buying stuff in North America, it doesn't matter to you, but Europeans have a completely and trying to find a European DVD player in North America is not necessarily that easy. So I remember I called like 1,000 shops and like, oh, you got to call this place. They have European equipment too. And
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture or something for you guys. I'm gonna go into the archives up to the cloud, something that we never thought we would ever be saying. I got stuff in the cloud.
Good night, Bean.
The cloud is just somebody else's computer.
Good night, Bean.
You really think she's going to bed?
No, she's probably chasing ISS. She's gonna be chasing ISS or something. God bless her. Hey, Bean, I
remember Blu-rays and how that was going to take over the world. Yeah,
that was short-lived, wasn't it? That was really short-lived, wasn't it?
Well, no, Blu-ray stayed around.
Okay.
HD DVD is the one that died.
I don't even remember that.
DVD-R.
Yeah,
remember that. No, but like it doesn't really matter anymore right now. Like Blu-ray, barely anybody's buying DVDs anymore.
Mike makes a good point here. Are we going to be okay?
We're inclusive.
Okay.
We do both NTSC and PAL.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
because I don't want to come into this short-sighted.
We got all the modes.
Okay, want to make sure we're good.
I was at work today, and my dad was there, and talking with him. I was like, "Do you remember back in the day where you used to have like stacks of 3.5-inch computer discs, like the floppy disks, and like when you wanted to load Windows, it was like insert this one, insert this 2, insert this 3."
Guys, what was the notch for on that?
The what?
Was it the 5 1/4? Did that have a notch?
Yeah.
Come on, Steve. Come on, you guys. Help me out.
There was one that there's a little switch at the top corner that it would be almost like the cassette player where it would stop you from writing.
Well, no. But that was the I'm not talking about the small one, the bigger. I think it was a 5 1/4. That was really like a floppy.
That was to keep it from jumping back out of the drive, man.
That was the notch for.
Let's see what he's got.
Come on, Steve. What do you got for us?
He's got the 3.5.
That's a
3.5.
Yeah.
Yep. But it has the switch right there.
Yeah.
You can write protect it.
Yeah.
Just by moving it.
Oh, that's what that was for.
Yeah, it was super security. It was state of the art technology back in the day.
That's Homeland Security in its day.
Very hard to crack that code.
And what's the capacity of
that?
Steve, what was the capacity of that?
1.44 megabytes.
Oh my God, that's
still pretty decent.
And AOL used to send all their demo disc on those drives,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you just put a piece of tape or wad some paper up and stick it in that
AOL,
That's it.
hole there, and you
um,
could use it for your own memory.
Earthlink. Remember all the stuff you used to get in the
Oh,
mail?
jeez.
Earthlink.
Netscape. Yeah.
Netscape. Oh my God, Netscape.
Oh,
I'd be like, what am
yes.
I going to do with this stuff? I used to just throw it out. I don't know what I'm doing with it. There's probably a landfill full of stuff here in New Haven.
Mhm.
The best computer was back in the day, the original Apple
it.
computer with a green screen
Mhm.
with the big floppy disk playing Oregon's Trail or Conan or Frogger. All those old school games that were super fun to play. And it was just like jump, jump, jump.
So, Brian, I actually had one of the new hires at my current office say something about a 3D printed save icon, and I wanted to slap him. I just closed my office door and walked away because
Matt
I
talks
figured
about-
that was better.
Matt talks about the cassette tape. I remember learning that in high school. It was 1982. I was
Yes,
a senior,
Pitfall.
and they were talking about backing up everything and putting it into this cassette tape, which was connected to the Commodore 64, maybe, or 120, whatever it was. Yeah, they were trying to teach us. They said everyone's going to need to know this stuff.
I love it. Prescott says Pitfall. Matt here says Load Runner. Yep, those are yeah. I remember those games, guys. Oh, and that one too. That's an entertaining game. Let's get
How about the iOmega zip drives? Oh my God.
Oh, dial up. AOL. You aren't.
Wow.
You're now connected.
Yes, the super disc, the fat discs there. I remember those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one.
The
Super
iOmega
discs.
zip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the super disc, and then this was the zip drive, and it's actually got a disc in it, the 250.
You had to buy the external drive, like with the cable, right? On that one there. My dad had one of those.
Well, that one actually has USB on it.
Yeah. Show us the front. I want to see the front. They were like two times the thickness, or almost 2.5 times. Yeah. I remember.
And how much
those.
capacity is that?
250 megabyte.
Ooh.
I'm sitting here wondering how us talking about disk drives brought up the bots. We was mentioning the 3.5 inch and the 5 inch. And,
That's what it takes.
I
was
thought
our-
we were. Aren't we on subscriber only? On
They
the chat?
subscribe now.
Good
No, we're not
Lord.
on subscriber only. That's the problem. We got.
I figured when we were talking about Daniel's feet at the beginning of the show, they would have jumped in.
They really
No,
do subscribe now. Though.
They waited till an hour and 43 minutes in. So, but
Is there anybody still on dial-up? Is that still even
Jesus.
used? I mean, seriously, is there some parts of the country or the world using
Daniel
dial-up?
is. That's why the kids can't use the phone while he's choosing that.
So there's places that still have their. It still uses the phone line. They have a filter. Remember the filter adapter
Mhm.
that you put
Ooh,
on? That
yeah.
little filter?
DSL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I don't know.
And if a call came in, it would knock you off, right?
No, I think with those filters you could do both, right? Wouldn't
Oh.
how did that
Yeah,
work?
well, the filters were for DSL,
Okay.
but for dial-up, if you had call waiting and a
It
call
would knock
came
you
in, it would knock you off.
Yeah.
If you disabled call waiting,
Always
Which
had to disable.
don't remember what the star
The
code
busy
was for
signal,
that.
Joe.
Yeah.
It was like star 68 or something would disable it. And then
No,
it
star
would-
68 was last call.
oh,
I'm
was that
thinking-
last
I'm-
call?
Or star 69 was last call, wasn't it?
Star
I'm
69
think-
was last call.
My
Yeah.
mother one time got so mad.
Man,
my mother got
the old
my
stuff.
my mother got so mad at us one day.
Star
wanted to go-
70.
She wanted to go have coffee with the neighbor a couple houses away. She got so because she was waiting for the phone call to come in. She just grabbed the coffee pot and said, "I'm going to go up the street," because we were tying up the line and like, oh my god,
You know what, guys? I was just thinking we got to do a show where it's a show and tell, and our guests. I know a lot of our guests have it, but anything old technology that you have,
Oh, my
whether
gosh.
it's TV, whether it's I don't care, a phone.
So we just get
anything.
TO to come on.
that's true.
Nah,
He has
I mean,
He's
everybody.
got those boxes. He's got those post office boxes behind him.
Listen,
Mhm.
pull something
I
out.
really think we need to do that and find unique things.
That would be funny. That would be good, Daniel. I agree.
Yeah, because it's so fun. It's also scary to think like that was how many years ago, and I remember it. But like the Atari and all that stuff that are so different from today, like everything from the dial up. There's nostalgia, right? There's memories of it, and always getting mad at my sisters for picking up the phone and trying to make a phone call. And the worst is like the speaker that was on there, right? Like sometimes you get different. The speaker on the dial-up thing.
Oh, the phone. The
yeah.
Every
princess phone.
teenager wanted that phone. Every
Yeah.
teenager
The
wanted
little
that
the
phone.
little rice light that would blink when the phone rang.
Not only
Mhm.
that, but we knew that as the princess phone, and you can get it in certain colors.
Mhm.
And you can either get it as the rotary dial, and then they came out with the DTMF buttons. Oh, let's say Steve is going in the back of the corner again. What do you got for us? Every time Steve leaves and goes in the corner, we
Yeah,
pull
but-
something out.
Well, so we're talking about these 1.44 megabyte, and now we've got this that's 32 gigabyte,
Mhm.
and that's a big one.
They make them right. They make
They
them
have
smaller.
smaller too,
The micros.
which I have down here. My cameras that I just knocked off my
You remember?
There it is.
stack.
There
you
it is.
go.
And remember the phones would come in. You can get the Garfield phone. We saw that on TV the other day. The kids and I were laughing. The football phone, Sports Illustrated. If you got a Sports Illustrated subscription, they'd give you the phone, the football phone or something. As you know,
There used to be so many trinkets. Like
Mhm.
they used to make everything, and it wasn't like nonsense. It was like real cool things, like the football phone, and like
that,
they had a whole slew of things, and they were all like, "I want that."
Oh,
I knew
yeah.
a guy who had the I think it's a mallard duck, and it would quack. It would quack when the phone rang. You had your option of a traditional ring or a quack.
Was that a mallard duck or Howard the duck?
I think it was mallard because it
Okay.
looked like a traditional mallard duck. The green and nice,
Mhm.
pretty breast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
pretty breast.
Yeah, pretty breast. Oh, see, now the bots are going to come again, Joe. Because we said duck.
Game
Oh,
Boy.
we could have said worse.
Could have been
Oh,
talking
Lord.
about dicks tonight again.
Somebody brought up Duck Hunt. God,
Duck
that was
Hunt.
the first game I would rage quit.
Okay. Here's the question though. How did it work?
I was just going to say, how many people
Like-
would actually look at the peripheral and say, I don't get how I can point at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So was it by light? What was it like?
So it was actually a camera. The gun was a camera, but it worked off of the refresh rate of the CRTs. That's why it doesn't work with the new TVs.
So when you hit the trigger, was
It
it
would-
causing?
It would catch a snapshot of that one frame, and it would know where you were looking at. Oh Lord!
Yes,
yes, that effing dog. Absolutely.
The dog would laugh at you.
The dog got shot more than the ducks.
Yes, you wanted to
Nobody could kill it.
Yeah.
So Jody makes it sound all smart. Jody says the gun had a phototransistor that read the interlaced lines on the screen.
Yep.
Okay.
And the duck was just a white square. It was a
no
was a spot
kidding,
scanner.
really. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are yelling at the duck, and it's nothing more than a white square.
Yep.
A laughing white
So
square.
if you would have shot at a white piece of paper, would it have worked?
No,
Okay.
because
Just asking.
it had to read the interlaced line.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great technology for the day.
And it still only costs like pennies compared to what you pay for something today similar.
Yeah. So there is a crew out there that's trying to retrofit the gun for the LCD TVs for people that have the Raspberry Pis running the retro games.
Wow.
They'll just put a QR code with a scanner on the gun. That's it.
Well, then you have to rewrite the game for it to be a QR.
Shaq and Greg, what was the Captain Power gun? That'd be interesting. I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
See, Game Boy was my big game. We had Nintendo
Right.
and Game Boy. Those were the only games we had. And I remember one of my friends, my sister's friends, gave me all these games and Game You the Genie. Remember the Genie?
Oh yeah, the Game Genie.
No, I don't
The
know
game
that
you
one,
put
no.
it in, and you had the
Right.
little book in the back, and you can find your game and find the cheat codes, right?
Mhm.
And then it had the light, and there was a flip down magnifying glass. Remember that?
Some of the jock kids used to have that football game, but probably about the size of our smartphone, and you would throw like a hard small disc in there, and you
Mhm.
play football or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah, there were some of those.
Man, those were the days.
Oh,
Somebody made a whole
Weren't
bunch
they?
of money, and here we are sitting on YouTube
yep.
and
Thinking,
playing POTA. This is why I play POTA, because I didn't come up with these ideas. But that's
Carlos
okay.
goes, Game Genie. Wow. Yeah, you now. Yeah, that's nostalgia, right? Exactly.
absolutely.
My
Carlos
Game Boy
was
still
probably
works.
10, 12. I bet you Carlos was about 10 or 12 years old playing that. Monster basketball.
Oh Lord.
That's it. The Mattel Electronics football. Thank you, Ed. Yep.
The Coleco handheld football game with red LED segment.
Yes, Matt is also right. There was a couple. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. What else? What else was there? It wasn't much, but they were
No.
great.
They didn't have hockey or anything. I'm just trying to think.
That-
They didn't.
yeah.
I still think Wolfenstein was the best video game ever created. Just saying.
Wolfenstein, Duke Nukem. I mean,
What's that stuff? What's that?
oh, those were old school games.
Old. That was one of those multi-disc games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. What else?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I just remember playing Pong. You remember Pong? And the more you played Pong, the bar would get shorter
Mm-hmm.
because the game would get smart because it knew it was learning from you.
Shaq and Gray's got it. The Tecmo Bowl.
Yep.
Never heard of
And
that.
somebody mentioned that football game that the whole freaking thing vibrated.
What, like if you tackled somebody?
No, it was how the football
Right.
moved.
Yeah. Little handheld. Yeah, Ed, I do remember Unreal Tournament, but that's still too new. Carmageddon. Wow. Matt, you're throwing it back there. I do
Matt,
remember that
what
one.
year is that, Matt? What year?
Oh,
Guys, if you're putting stuff in the chat, give us a year or something so we can kind of
Yeah.
think about, where were we in 1980 or 84 and
well, I mean,
1842.
different game. Oregon Trail was one of the originals that I remember.
Yeah, Pong was 79 plasma. I remember
Mhm.
that. That was 8th grade for me. Yeah, that was 8th grade for me. So
Yeah. Daniel, are you
Come on.
playing that? Or is it?
Yeah, share it on the screen.
share it on the screen.
Come
Put
on.
it on there. Absolutely.
There we go. Oh my God.
Ah,
And what's this now?
what's my shoot button?
Wolfenstein.
Ah.
This is
And he
Wolfenstein.
dies. Yeah.
Oh, I can't do our mouse. I have to. Okay, here we go. But okay, what's my shoot button? Come on, what is it?
Read the right hand side. It has your controls.
Where does it say it? Hold on.
Right next to the screen, it says controls.
Game is controlled by same key that are used to play under MS DOS. Well, it would help if I knew what MS DOS
The right
controls were.
alt and the enter.
Okay, those are the move. Where's my shoot? I'm pushing every button on my keyboard, boys.
Oh Lord.
Do I not have any ammunition? Oh,
There
you
it
go.
is.
Oh yeah, you're going down, Nazi killer. Hey. Oh,
You made noise.
yeah. Gotta get myself some first aid. Guys, this is
What
I'm
year
really
is this
bad
now?
at this. I'm running
What
into
year?
walls.
If someone knows in the chat, what is Wolf? Like,
This
what year are
was
we talking?
92, 93.
This
Hang on.
telling you, internet is the best. You got to remember all the secret passages.
Now is this Wolfenstein? Yeah,
Hey,
Wolfenstein
what's who's
3D.
shooting me? No, nobody.
Um,
There's gonna be a bunch of guys in here. I
90
remember
May
that.
5th of 92.
Have
Guys,
fun,
Ham Radio
James.
Venture guy. Yeah, James is
Nope.
going to be out in a park soon, so catch him. He doesn't have to
Yep.
spot himself.
No, he
I'm
doesn't.
That's
already
how
waiting
darn
for
good
it.
he is. That's how darn good he is.
Yeah. James, what frequency are you thinking? We'll go ahead and clear it now for
All
you.
right, enough's enough.
Uh,
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry,
Because
guys.
I remember
I had
the
to.
guy. So before all this stuff came out, I was not an arcade kid. But this is like 78, 70, 77, 70, 79. We didn't have any local arcades near us. You'd have to go like to a
73,
mall.
Matt.
And so long, Matt.
So,
And
yeah.
you'd have the buttons. I think it would cost you anywhere from 50 cents to $1.25. And the certain buttons would give you like similar to what Molson was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it was all time. You either lost your lives or it was time based, and boom.
Yeah.
And then that was the beginning of this.
Well, guys, it's almost time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry for getting distracted and playing Wolfenstein.
No, it
Right.
actually. Maybe we should have an arcade night sometime, at
No.
least for
Oh, Lord.
half an hour or
Absolutely.
so.
Absolutely.
some-
Good idea. Good
Hold
idea.
on. I got something to show you guys. Let's hold on.
Hold on, guys. Last call. Molson's going
Hold on. give me a second here. Keep
Yep.
talking. Keep talking.
Yeah. I was going to say,
amongst ourselves.
Ron's right. Izzo was the pinball wizard.
No, I was not. I was.
No?
I
You weren't a pinball guy?
No, because there was just no there was just no arcades near me, and back
Oh.
then I had a paper route, so I
Yeah.
was just saving my money, man. My money was to buy a brand new 10-speed. That's all I cared about.
Well, so we have a local adult establishment. Now it's a local bar that is called the Alley. It's got a small, like 8 or 10 lane bowling alley in the back, and they still have mostly pinball machines out in the bar area. And if you go there on the right night, you can usually catch Bill Murray in there.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Nice.
Oh, Daniel.
Ready?
Yes.
What the hell is this?
Donkey Kong, the original.
No, it's burger time.
Oh, is that burger time? Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta restart this. What's going on here?
Tell the kids to get off your internet now. That was Tom.
Remember burger time?
Burger time.
Never
Let's do
heard of it. Looks cool though.
Okay,
1982, licensed by Nintendo.
You gotta make a burger.
I like
And
that
these
player
guys-
1, player 2. That's when player 2 had to wait their turn.
You gotta walk over the layers of the burger while these guys try and get you. Watch, and I can squish them. See?
Oh, so you're in white. Okay, Molson's in white. Got it. Sort of like
Run
Pac-Man.
away. Run away from the tomatoes. Yeah. Okay.
So the goal
Over.
is get those burgers down to
Look
the
at
bottom.
these guys. They're all coming after me. Okay, there you
Oh.
You're so screwed. You're so screwed.
go.
There it is.
I thought you had it.
Hold on,
man.
let's
One
see what
more
else they got.
second. One
Let's see what else
more
they got.
second,
Let's
and
see
you
what
would have
else they
climbed the
got.
ladder.
Contra, Commando, Donkey Kong. Here you
Wait.
go.
Okay, so Daniel, what was the code for Contra?
I don't know. I don't remember
All
my
that-
kids' birthdays. How am I supposed to remember what the code for Contra is?
Chat, help us
So-
out. Who remembers the
Hey, hold on.
Contra
Which one's
code?
jump? What's going? Oh, that's not me playing. Hold on.
Steve, the code for what though? To do what?
It was the unlimited lives.
Okay.
It's
going on?
actually called the Konami code because it was the same code for a number of their games.
Okay. Because my thrill was always Super Mario when you found something, you found a tube that you can go down and find a new
Mhm.
world and get a whole bunch of coins and find some more lives.
Daniel, Sam wants you to drop a link in the chat for that.
Just Google
Website.
triplet. Just Google. It's a family website. I found it years ago when I was trying to find these old games. It's called Triplets and Us. They have triplets, the kids. So Triplets and Us, and then there's a tab where you can find NES games, arcade games from the 80s. So it's just a family website called Triplets and Us.
You usually when I Google triplets, I get something else, but
No, it's a family who has three kids that are triplets, and they have a website dedicated, and they have a link to arcade
There you
games.
go. There you
Yep.
go.
Up,
In the
up,
chat.
down, down, left, right, BA,
Yep.
select, start.
Yep. Adam is right. Yeah, there you go.
So
There you go. Joe Brett got it. See, it was easy, wasn't it, Joe Brett?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know what's wrong
Anyways,
with this,
guys,
Google.
let's do the round table here.
Yep.
Let's say goodbye.
Cheers.
I got nothing. Thanks for letting me play games while we're on the show.
We'll do this again,
Anytime,
guys.
Daniel.
Seriously, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna bring up, just like Joe Brett and guys were saying, do something, whatever you got, something vintage.
yep.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
fun times.
It could be a deep cycle battery for all we know, because those deep cycle batteries were precious for a long time.
So we got to do
Oh.
we got to do an arcade night, and we got to do a retro electronics night.
Right.
Mhm.
A throwback electronics night.
Throwback. Yeah,
Talking
there you
about
Yeah.
throwbacks. Hey, Izzo,
go. Mhm.
did you hear about the scientist that his pants kept falling down?
No, I didn't.
He won the Nobel Prize.
Oh my God. Hang on. I got one for you. Hang on. Just give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second.
Okay, while you're looking that one up, Joe, guy went into the auto parts store today. Asked
yeah?
for a longer dipstick because his is no longer touching the oil.
Mm.
Joe, I accidentally drank invisible ink. Now I'm at the hospital waiting to be seen.
Yeah.
I saw that one. So, Ron, yeah, looking forward to seeing you at
Here we
Huntsville.
go.
All right, let's roll that fabulous outro video, guys.
See ya.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you
guys.
for the answer in the
7-3.
chat.
Have a good night.
Have fun. Go out and have some fun. Go
Who-
play some
who's
radio
hit-
and have fun.
Who's hitting the button? Is it me?
You
Hold
were.
on. All right.
Somebody hit the button.
Unplug your Donkey Kong. Good night, Sue. 88s.